Welcome to Discovering. Tonight, we'll check out a UP Ski Patrol that has been recognized as the best in the entire nation.
We're out there to make sure that you're having a great time. We're a great source of information.
Your foot has to be straight right in.
Then a look at the UP's fishing history. That's all tonight, so stick around. It's Monday night and time for Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
One of the most popular winter sports here in the UP is downhill skiing. We've got a number of great ski resorts across the peninsula, each unique in their own way. One of the terms you'll typically hear in association with downhill skiing is ski patrol. I wonder just what it is that they do and why they are there. The Pine Mountain Ski Patrol at the Pine Mountain Golf and Ski Resort in Iron Mountain was selected as the best ski patrol in the entire nation for 2017. I sat down with Pine Mountain Ski Patrol Director Jay Van Zeeland to find out what a ski patrol does and what it takes to be #1 in the country.
The Ski Patrol is a volunteer organization that provides safety and first aid for people out while skiing. We also at Pine Mountain try to really spend a lot of our time working on customer service. Try to make sure that everybody's happy, giving out candy to kids, giving out hot cocoa coupons to people doing good things. We really want to spend time just having chats with our guests. One of the things that we explained to all of our patrollers a few years ago is that everybody here is on vacation. So it's our job to make their vacation better. One of the other things that we've done is that we've taught all of our people the Disney method of how to be able to work with people so that everyone here is working with them and helping everyone smile. We spend a lot of time talking with our guests. On very cold days, we'll do things like teaching them CPR in the chalet. That gives us a chance to teach them some new skills. It also gives us a chance to be able to get up close to our guests and make sure that we don't have anybody with frostbite or anything like that. We also run one of 5 programs in the country that are accredited for the young adult ski patroller. We will take high school age kids, 15 to 18. We'll teach them the same first aid skills as well as how to be able to take toboggans down the hill so that they can become patrollers. That provides them an opportunity to learn these lifelong skills as well as an opportunity to be able to ski and afford skiing when they take off and go to college. The Pine Mountain Ski Patrol has been continuously operating since 1939. It was originally started by Laverne Trepp, who became eventually the owner of the hill, and has continued ever since. Pine Mountain also recently just won the National Outstanding Ski Patrol, and a lot of that has to do with what we do as far as helping our guests, making sure that they're enjoying their time. We all provide first aid care. However, the first aid care only provides us with just a small amount of what we do. Most of what we're doing is out there trying to ensure that everybody's having a good time. One of the impressions that a lot of people have is that the ski patrol are the hill cops. That is absolutely not what we are. We're there to provide safety for everybody, and there may be times that we talk to you and explain that this isn't necessarily a safe thing to do. But the biggest thing that we do here at Pine Mountain, we're out there to make sure that you're having a great time. We're a great source of information. If you need to know where the runs are that are more difficult or easier, ask us. If you just have questions about what's going on, if you are bored and want somebody new to ski with, come and find us. We will go on out and spend time enjoying the day with you. We enjoy playing with all of our customers. The Ski Patrol is a volunteer organization. All of us volunteer our time to come on up and ski. Of our Ski Patrol that currently has 37 people, approximately 30 of us are from the Green Bay area. So we come on up almost every weekend to be able to spend the time out there enjoying the sport that we love and helping other people enjoy that too. But it is a volunteer opportunity. In the average year, we probably put in somewhere around 4,000 hours of combined volunteer time with all of our people. In addition to that, we had to take a first aid course. Our first aid course is similar to a first responder course that people would take in order to be able to work with 911. We believe within the Ski Patrol that it's very important for us to always learn how to do things better. Our patrollers take ski lessons all the time. In fact, I've been skiing for 51 years and I have 3 full days of lessons scheduled for this season. As you'll see right now, they're working on his balance. The stepping motion helps us maintain balance over our outside ski and ensure that we're working on our proper angles on our skis. You'll also notice that they always still remain facing downhill.
So the point of the exercise, holding the poles with an open hand, and with that, we were keeping our upper body quiet and keeping our shoulders facing straight down the hill. And when you do that, you make your skiing to start from the waist on down. It's more efficient. It's less efficient than trying to start your turn with your upper body. It also helps when you're doing a toboggan to keep your shoulders square straight down the hill. You'll find side slipping is a whole lot easier to do after you do that exercise for a few times. The second part is when we're lifting the tail of our ski, the uphill ski, and then shifting our weight. Our uphill and downhill skis kind of changed. We were keeping our weight forward. If you saw your tip come up, your weight was too far back. You can only lift that tail when your weight is properly forward on your skis. With that, you're more imbalanced, you'll be more efficient, and have a whole lot more fun on skis.
So some of the more common injuries that we see, most of them are sprains. But we have had people that have broken legs out here. The snowboarders seem to have a lot of fractured wrists because they have a tendency of falling face forward and putting their wrists out. We are all trained in CPR. A number of us on our patrol are also paramedics by career, so we also know how to be able to do some of the more advanced things. Each one of us carry along either a vest or a backpack that has a bunch of first aid gear in there, including Band-Aids, including some simple dressings to cover bleeding. We also have splints in there and just bandages that we can take care of people. We also have advanced airways that if somebody is out onto the hill not breathing and not able to control their airway, we can put in adjuncts that we put directly into their mouth that make sure that their airway stays open, and then we can provide oxygen for them. We don't carry that directly, but we can have it snowmobiled directly to the scene as we need it. We also have AEDs so that we can, if somebody goes into cardiac arrest, we can do CPR and shock them directly out on the hill. Then we've also got a great working relationship that we can get them to that ambulance and that advanced care quickly. It's unfortunate, but sometimes at ski hills people do get hurt. And that's what the Ski Patrol is here to do. We've got very good first aid skills that we can take and package people and bring them down the hill safely so that we can get them taken care of. You're going to be able to see us working on a patient that happens to have skied on down and fell and has an injured leg. This is the simulated incident. Jake to Ski Patrol, you're needed near the top of Birch for an injured party. As the ski patrollers arrive, they're going to come on up. They're going to make sure that the scene is safe and then ensure that the patient is okay. They start doing assessments right away with talking to them.
How's it going, sir? Good. I just woke up. Last thing I remember is hitting this tree.
Finding out that the patient's talking to them, they can tell that he has an open airway, that he's breathing, that he's conscious.
We need a toboggan on the opening area downward ways on Birch.
They quickly go ahead and they assess what's going on with the patient by talking to him, finding out what his chief complaint is.
My left arm and my hip.
Your left arm and your hip?
Yeah.
Hey,
you feel anything?
Which side of your hip? By the way, I'm Karen. This is Matt.
Hey, Dave.
And your name is?
Dave.
Dave. Okay, Dave. What part of the hip? This side?
This left side.
Okay.
I can move my legs, but
One of the things that we need to be able to do is to quickly transport them to the bottom. So we use specialized toboggans with specialized training to come on into here. Also in that bag carries a number of first aid pieces of equipment that we will use to be able to splint this gentleman's leg. These splints that we're using are kind of specialized to the ski patrol in that they're very well padded, allow us to very quickly get in and stabilize up somebody's long limbs. We also have shorter ones for arms, and then long boards if we need to be able to stabilize the entire patient. Then we have to take and move him on into here. So it always works best if the patient is able to help, getting it up close and have the patient try and help with whatever they can. And then we cover them up to keep them warm because it is, after all, a winter sport. Okay, patient ready?
Patient's ready.
Heel ready? Yes. Clear. Clear. As we bring our patients on down, we have a person up front who controls the speed and the direction that they're going to go. We also have a person in back who acts as a secondary brake and also makes sure that the back end stays in straight line. We do this double safety just so we're sure that the guest has a very safe trip down to the bottom. Four years ago, I took over as the Ski Patrol director. Prior to that time, nobody really knew of the Pine Mountain Ski Patrol. Even though we've been doing this for a long time, our patrol wasn't very active within the Ski Patrol. Since taking it over, I've become active on the board. The region board with the Ski Patrol is not only the rep from Pine Mountain, but also the young adult director. So I control the young adult programs for all of the hills, from basically Highway 29 in Wisconsin north all the way to Lake Superior. In addition to that, we've done an awful lot of things as far as our people going out for advanced training, like the senior program within the Ski Patrol, where we're always working on trying to find new ways to be able to be better at skiing, be better at taking care of our guests. Our ski patrollers here spend countless hours out there practicing their skills and practicing their craft to make sure that for the few times that we have accidents on our hill, that we're absolutely prepared. So the National Outstanding Ski Patrol Award that we just received means that we are running the best program in the whole country for the year 2017. They select somebody every year that's running a really good program and making sure that we're out there helping guests, promoting the ski patrol, but also promoting the industry in general. Some of the things that we've done in order to be able to be acknowledged as the outstanding patrol is we really do operate under our tagline of "we pick you up when you're down." And that has very little to do with gravity, because yes, we will help people when they're hurt, but we really want to make sure that everybody's spirits are lifted when they're here as well. The Ski Patrol as a volunteer organization is always looking for new people to be able to join the Ski Patrol, we ask people to come on in and we have them try out skiing at the beginning of the season. We take a look at your skiing skills and determine, is this somebody that we can teach how to be able to do this stuff very easily, very quickly. We then run you through a training program that lasts basically throughout the whole first season that will work with you to make sure that you know how to safely handle the toboggan, increase your skiing skills, and then over the summer, during the off-season, is when we teach the first aid skills. Since I was a little kid, I've watched the guys out there with the crosses on their back and was always enamored with what they were as far as what their job was. And it's fun to be out there and work with the guests, and it's not about the paycheck. I continue to do it now because I love skiing. I've been able to introduce my own children to skiing, starting both of them before they were 2 years old. Now my whole family's involved with it. My wife is a ski patroller. My daughter, Sydney, has recently been awarded the National Outstanding Young Adult Patroller. And my son Riley will be starting with us next month when he turns 15 years old. But it's an opportunity for us to be able to take the whole family out and enjoy something in the winter.
Being surrounded by the Great Lakes, it's no wonder the Upper Peninsula has such a rich fishing history. Much of this history is preserved through old photographs collected by award-winning photographer Jack Deo of Marquette. I sat down with Jack at his Superior View studio in Marquette to find out more.
Yeah, well, I've spent 7 months putting together a show on fishing that I call Fish On, and it's 40 years of collecting old photographs, and I finally found a way to justify all this collecting as I make a show that we can raise some money for the History Center. And I used some of their photographs from the History Center, plus a lot of mine, and we really cover every aspect of fishing, from commercial fishing to native fishing to record fish camps, and got almost 300 photographs to show people called Fish On. Well, the first section, First to Fish, is on Native American fishing. And we show shots of Native Americans who used to spearfish from canoes. This is a great shot. The title is a 50-pound sturgeon caught by an Indian mother. A great Native American fish camp on the mouth of the Yellow Dog River. This is also a neat shot up at the Portage in Houghton. This is smoking fish, and as you can see in the background, you have a lot of fish hanging, drying in the background, but this is probably about an 1890 shot out of Houghton. But one of the neat things is when they fished whitefish in the Sioux, you can see how they would dip whitefish from these canoes. They used huge nets in the front, and the man in the back would sort of steady the canoe, and they would fish whitefish by dipping their nets. There was an island called Chief's Island that was the headquarters for this Chippewa fishing village. Well, in 1821, the Native Americans signed away the rights to this area, but they continued to fish it for almost 80 years, and it wasn't until the turn of the century that they had to abandon this area. The next section we have is on commercial fishing. And in my collection, one of the oldest commercial fishing shots I have is this shot on Lake Superior, 1863. It's called the Hensley Fishing Grounds. And this is up in Montreal Bay above the Sioux. And really the first people to fish around this area was off of Grand Island. The American Fur Company was throwing nets out as early as 1843. Powell's Point, a very famous fishing family. Truman Powell came to Munising in 1845, and his three sons, Curran, Chris, and Aaron, ran Powell. This is Aaron Powell. So Munising had a big fishing, commercial fishing operation, and this is the Anderson Fishing Group. They fished for almost 100 years in Munising, and then later in Marquette. All the nets had to be repaired and dried every night. And in Munising, you have the Van Landshoots. They're still fishing today. This is one of the last fishing outfits. They opened up in Munising in about 1928, and Philip Van Landschoot's sons are still running it today. They were also in Nobbinway. They had cotton nets, so these things had to be dried after every time of use or they would rot. Up in Copper Harbor was a big commercial fishing port, and of course here's just a local family that fished, and this is the Swedes Porch. There's still a gift shop in Copper Harbor called the Swedes, right in this spot. You can sit on this porch today, and this is a shot in 1903 of them working on their nets. Grand Marais had the Endres family. They fished for 100 years. This is the Gloriana, one of their larger boats. You can see all the nets. And look at the nets that they had to bring in, dry, and repair. It was really a lost art. Some of these guys could mend these nets with their eyes closed. The Ora Endres, the Endres family let me copy these tremendous fishing shots from 1910 as they hauled the fish in from their nets. So the Endres family was around a long time. And of course, Fairport at Beatty Knock, there was as many as 20 different fishermen fishing, and they go back to 1840s fishing in Fairport. Here's one of the boats coming off of Fairport about 1910. And this is the Hansen Jensen fishing crew. Again, they're fixing the nets up in Fairport. In Marquette, we think of the harbor as this being the fishing area, but back even earlier, fishing shacks lined the whole lower harbor. This is a shot of the lower harbor park before it was filled in, and it shows how big the fishing village was back in the turn of the century. And Peter Anderson, one of the largest fishing companies, was around again almost 100 years. They started fishing pretty much at about 1879 in Marquette, 1882 in Munising. Their boat to Columbia was 87 feet long, and this boat would travel as far as the Superior Shoals in Canadian waters. In the 1940s, there was still as many as 10 different fishing outfits out of Marquette. The Thill family, they go back to the days of the Fayette Furnace, and Nicholas Thill, who came from Luxembourg to Fayette in about 1870. And most of the Thills were fishermen, and Francis Thill, who started Phil's, was really a farmer. But when his two brothers-in-law died in a tragic 1944 boating accident, they never found the boat, they never found the men. He was kind of called in to start fishing, and he never looked back. He fished his entire life, and this is how the Thills began, with Francis Thill coming to Marquette in about 1958. He decided that they could sell fish and make a profit right from their docks, which they're still doing today.
Keep an eye on the show in the weeks to come for more great history of UP fishing photographs from Jack Deo. Well, that's it for this week. Be sure to tune in next week. We'll be back at Pine Mountain for ski lessons and more. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week right here on Upper Michigan's very own Discovery.